thank you very much, Lasse Lyskjær.
Yeah.
Did I say
Lyskjær.
Lyskjær.
Lyskjær, yeah.
Who is this person? Is the director of LYKKE? Did I say well?
RIDDER, yeah.
Which is in Spanish is Caballero de Fortuna. Okay, it's a movie actually in the international competition for Denmark, and it's talking about the death of somebody.
Yeah.
And you make humor. All right.
Yeah.
So first of all, why are you taking the death to talk about?
First of all, I lost some people very dear to me when I wrote this movie, and I was at this chapel where you go to say goodbye to people, and I thought you have to make a movie about this place, because this is a place where sort of the professionals, the sterile things, white walls, meet people, and you're coming to say goodbye to your loved ones. And I know the only thing that really puts love or color into this place in your life is people, and the people you have dear to you. And when I lost people close to me, we had a lot of family, and there were friends singing together, being there for each other. And I was thinking, what if you don't have that? What if you were all alone by yourself and you had to say goodbye to someone that meant the world to you? And this was sort of the starting place for making this movie.
Actually, the movie is about death, about loneliness.
Yeah.
Which one is actually the idea of the movie?
It was kind of a mix. It was about saying goodbye, of course, and this person who couldn't really say goodbye because he didn't want to face that his wife is dead. Because it was the only person he had in his life that meant everything to him. And he wasn't like most men are. They are not so good at socializing. It's often their wives that are better at socializing, trying to, connect with people. And when he's the Swedish guy who moved to Denmark with his wife, and suddenly he was all by himself. And also, men are a lot like they want to handle things themselves. So they take things in and they try to man up and do things by themselves. So that's this character. That's what this character is missing. He doesn't want to share. So he tries to man up and do things by himself. But he finds out along in this movie he can't do it by himself. So that's one of the themes in this movie.
Actually, it's what you're telling is quite sad.
Yeah.
And then you have humor.
Yeah.
How, when you are writing the idea, okay, we're gonna do it with humor.
Yeah.
Why? Which is great, by the way.
Okay. Thank you. Of course, humor is a big part of my writing. Yeah. But also there's some kind of absurdity in loss or in death. You can't really understand it. And also there's this. I think when I lost one of the dear people to me, there were not a long way between crying and laughing. Those are two emotions actually very close to each other. So the humor comes from that, and I think that's sort of a defense mechanism in us as human beings, because we need to laugh to sort of cope with things sometimes. So I think it started with that. And of course, it's also about these characters. When you're grieving, you're acting kind of unnormal in some way. When you're looking outside and in, it's difficult for people to sometimes understand that you react like that. And I think most of the laughing comes from that in the movie, because it's the characters that makes you laugh. It's not because I write jokes, but it's the characters doing weird things. No.
Yeah. no, exactly. No jokes.
It's not jokes.
It's funny in that place, in that moment. It's like you are not expecting that, and it makes you laugh.
Exactly. And that's a part of grieving. And that's also one of the things I would like to put a spot on, that it's okay to act weird ways, because every person acts differently when it comes to grieving or sort of coping with losing someone close to you.
But what is similar, by the way, is people and movies from Denmark.
Yeah.
We can think, okay, drunk.
Yeah.
Or druk.
Yeah, druk, yeah.
And which is making laugh, let's say, or laughing at the drunk people. And then you have the last one who won the Palme d'Or in Cannes, which is the Triangle of Sadness, which is making also laugh about having an accident where everybody is dead except for 6 or 7 people. So why the Danish films are like that, like drama and humor? Why there is always a bit of humor?
Yeah.
Where did you learn that?
It's a good question. I think it's part of our culture, of course, but I also think that we have self-irony. I think we learn from an early age that we have to be able to laugh about ourselves, just to cope, because I think in many eyes we have a nice living, we have a nice culture and society watching out of us, but I think we learn from a certain age that we need to be able to laugh about ourselves, and how you're going to say that in English, but I think that's an important fact for us in the way we sort of develop. From an early stage.
Is there no any limit? In the case, I'm going to explain you. Like in Spain, at least in Spain, apparently we have to be politically correct. So but the filmmakers sometimes they are censored by themselves. They say, okay, I'm not gonna talk about this because otherwise they will kill me, or maybe I will not find any distributor or producer or whatever. Is the same case in Denmark, or you are free to talk about whatever and be funny about it?
It's a good question. It's a good question actually, because I think in the times we're living right now, we don't want to step on too many toes, right? You still want to respect it, but we do have a lot of freedom of speech in Scandinavia, and that means we get a lot of creative freedom. So that's of course a cultural thing. You can say and mean what you want, and we still respect you for that. But I think more and more people are a little bit cautious about what they're gonna say, and I think you have to have your facts straight. You have to be able to. When you say something, you need to back it up by something, because this is your voice, right? So I think maybe 10 years ago you could do whatever you wanted to say, or say whatever you wanted to say, but today I think you need to be pretty exact with what you're saying. You need to be able to back it up, what you're saying still, because this is the times we're living in, and a lot of things happening, and I'm not going to go into specifics, but And
last question about what is next for you, for Lasse?
Right now, I'm working on a movie. I still have different ideas, and I'm writing. I actually have 3 ideas. I'm not going to open up to it now because it's still very. It's still very early, but I'm writing on 3 different things, just to sort of
long film, short films.
Long film. Just to try to figure out which one I like the best. Because I right now I'm at a stage where I need to write it to sort of find out what I like, and hopefully at some point I think, oh, this is the one I like, and I'm gonna write that. To the end,
So we wish you good luck for the long film, and also here in Clermont-Ferrand. Good luck, because you are in the international competition. So who knows? Maybe on Saturday you will get a prize.
Hopefully. But it's also just nice to be here and have my movie watched by a lot of a big soul of audience. It's an amazing experience to see so many people.
A bit cold, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit cold. It is.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for your time.
Perfect.